is Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Daniel?
Oh, that's a great poll right there, Rich.
It's a pull indeed, and I did stretch to make sure I didn't hurt myself after that pull.
Oh no, you're always well stretched. Probably got a roller out before you threw that one out there. How about this, Rich? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know how much it's been talked about. I didn't see a lot of the coverage because I went to the USC game last night.
Yep.
But to me, it's so interesting that Bill Polian, who 6-time executive of the year, but his what did him in was not having a backup quarterback for Peyton Manning. Right?
Yep.
Peyton goes down. The Jim Sorgi Express didn't really take off.
Nor did the Orlovsky. Don't forget the Orlovsky Express that happened that year too, DJ.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't want to forget that one.
Yep.
But it's just look, Ryan Grigson's there. He's been under a lot of heat, but signing Matt Hasselbeck, somebody who did not have to play for him for a couple years, when everything. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on this football team after the way they started. For him to go out there and get 2 big wins, I mean, sometimes you make a great signing and you don't know it for a couple years.
Well, that's why I said earlier on, and Law's taken a little bit of issue with it, is that if we took a vote for MVP for the first 4 weeks plus 1 game of the NFL, that you'd have to get a vote second, third place, if not first, if you really want to go there for Hasselbeck, based on what he's done the last 5 days.
I mean, when you think about it, he kept a season alive for the team, and he really kept some people employed that were on thin ice.
And also, he's found some people, I know I'm not going to take this to the next step that everyone's going to eventually take it when Luck returns and might struggle a little bit. He's finding people that Luck didn't. I mean, Andre Johnson suddenly came alive last night. Everybody's balling out a little bit more. Dwayne Allen, Colby Fleener. These are guys that Luck was having trouble finding in the first 2+ weeks of the season.
No, I mean, the guy, I can't say enough good things about how well he's played and what he's done. No, I think, hopefully we haven't got to the point yet where people are saying that he's a better option than Luck.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. If Luck comes back and struggles, and certainly he's taken on the Patriots, who want to beat the tar and any other thing that you think resides within the Colts out of them, it's coming. Someone's going to say it. Someone will say it in the national media.
I don't know. I guess the new thing now is they do these win percentages, right? Like this team has a whatever % chance of winning. What would you say the Rich Eisen win percentage chances for the Colts against the Patriots?
Brockman, you want to take that one? You're not a homer by any stretch of the imagination.
5%.
I don't think anybody's going to think that it's anything going to be except a 21-point at least blowout.
Yeah.
On that Week 6 Sunday night football game.
Yeah, no, it's not set up well.
But at least the Colts have a mini bye to get ready for that and get Luck up to speed for that. And they come on with a nice bit of mojo, 3 straight wins in a row, and everybody feeling good after a nice feel-good performance by Hasselbeck. The opposite end of it, so USC, you saw it, you were there. What happened last night, DJ?
Well, it was stubbornness, truthfully. If you look at it from the USC perspective, Rich, they ran the ball. They were getting 7-8 yards a pop with their 2 running backs. And they were playing. Washington was playing with high safeties, and they were taking away the underneath stuff, so there was no layups there for Kessler, and they were daring USC to stick to the running game, and they wouldn't do it. It was the darndest thing I've ever seen. They would rip off 7 or 8 yards on first down, throw it on second, throw it on third punt, and you just made no sense whatsoever. And it was kind of a flat team. And then I was up there in the press box, and Brian Fisher, a writer who's with Bleacher Report. I said they get a turnover, and I said, Peterson, if you follow Coach Peterson at Washington, these big games and big moments, he's always got a trick up his sleeve. And then sure enough, they get the turnover, double pass, and that was the game.
And then Sarkisian going for a field goal, down 5 with 4 minutes to go and only 1 timeout left, a timeout that he walked off the field still in his pocket. I mean, so a lot of people are wondering what was with that, and is this the beginning of the potential end for him and USC? Is that a fair question to ask?
Well, I mean, there was rumblings. There's a lot of USC folks up there in the press box, and a lot of people scratching their heads. I'm just sitting here going, it was a high 40s field goal, 46, 48 yards, something like that. So in order for you to win the game, you have 2 options. It's you convert 9 yards with a 5th-year senior quarterback with one of the top offenses in the country. You need 9 yards, or you need a college kicker to hit a long 40-plus yard field goal. You need to have a stop. Mind you only have 1 timeout, and then you need to get another field goal from a college kicker. I think 9 yards is a little bit easier to come by.
So let's move on to so do you think this is the beginning and end for him?
Well, I think, look, if this thing continues to go south, USC that's a prideful place, and the standards are very, very high. I know normally we talked about this with Charlie Strong too, right? You get supposed to get 3 or 4 years. I don't know at USC and Texas if things completely collapse if you get your number 3.
So that's our question at richeisenshow.com, asking the poll question, Chris Brockman.
Who's most likely to be coaching USC next season, DJ? Steve Sarkisian, Bill O'Brien, Chip Kelly?
Go for it.
Ooh, can I give you my other option?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm going to say Kyle Whittingham.
You're going to go to Utah?
Well, Kyle Whittingham has not had the best relationship with his athletic director there at Utah. He would be. I mean, look, this is getting ahead of everything. If they did make a change, who would make more sense for USC in terms of what they need? A stable, proven, winning head coach who's going to bring toughness and discipline. You're going to get athletes. You're going to get all the recruits every year because you're USC. They need a steady, stable, good football coach. And Kyle Whittingham, I don't think he would turn that down.
He went off the board, which we appreciate. That's DJ. That's thinking outside the box. So what about the Utah Utes taking on Cal? We had Jared Goff on the show earlier this week. I really enjoyed chatting with him. He seemed to be a fun-loving, intelligent guy out of Cal who beasted on Mike Silver, which we all appreciate that. How do you see this game going between Cal and Utah, DJ?
Well, Rich, everybody's kind of saying Utah because they're going to be a more physical team up front on both sides. I don't know. You've got the most talented quarterback in the country, in my opinion, in Goff. You've got 4 or 5 receivers who are going to be playing on Sundays up at Cal, and they're not going to be high picks. They're going to be late picks or free agents, but they'll be on NFL rosters next year. So they have the capabilities to be explosive and score some points. So last week I lucked out during our conversation, Rich, and I said I thought Arizona State was a tough matchup for UCLA. And this week I'm doubling down. I'm saying Cal pulls the upset over Utah.
Is that why Brockman's taking notes right now? You're taking notes right now on that? It seemed like you were taking notes when you used the word double down. Be careful. Be careful. So let's talk about the big house. Let's talk about my alma maters. My graduate degree visits my undergraduate degree. I go undergraduate degree, in case you're wondering about who I'm.
That's all. The loyalty always right.
Please. What happens with Northwestern and Michigan this weekend, Daniel? What do you think?
I'm going to say, look, it's going to be everything says low-scoring game. You got 2 great defenses, 2 tough physical teams are to commit to the running game. To me, this all comes down to your quarterback, Rich.
Is he going to make a mistake or not?
If he protects the football, I think Michigan wins. I picked Michigan to win the game. Really, I hate that whole play not to lose and, manage the game, don't make mistakes. Sometimes that's not the right way to go. Absolutely the right way to go in this one. Just protect the ball.
If you're right, Daniel Jeremiah, that means Michigan is most likely a top 15 team welcoming Michigan State into their house the following week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep if that's the case.
What do you have to do? Your schedule doesn't permit it because you're so crazy busy. But, when was the last time you actually got to go watch Michigan play?
Oh, like physically?
Yeah.
Like in the big house to watch Michigan play? It was Michigan versus Michigan State. I believe the year was 2004 or 5. A triple overtime. The reason why I went there is because my wife Susie was doing the sidelines for ABC Sports. They played Michigan State, went into triple overtime. Braylon Edwards won the game. And I'll never forget watching 90,000 fans come streaming out of the stands and surrounding my wife and Braylon in the middle of the 50-yard line. I was thinking I would never see her again. And I stood underneath the uprights with Steve Hutchinson, who was there that time too. Hutch and I watched the end of that game together for the last three, I guess, quarters, 3+ quarters with Hutch. That's the last time I saw him in person. But it's been a while since I was able to just sit there and watch quarter 1 through 4 live because these games usually happen during game day morning meetings.
Yeah.
I already told him. I'm like, I'm gonna have an app open. I'm gonna have an eye on that game against Northwestern. And then if it's Michigan State, Mooch and I in the same room.
Oh, wow.
For that?
He's probably just frantically texting Izzo the whole time.
We had Ryan Khalil on the show yesterday. He said all the Ohio State Buckeyes on the Panthers are nervous. They're nervous because of Harbaugh's presence, but more nervous because they see Ohio State not playing like it.
Yeah, no, they just kind of squeaking by, getting by. It feels so much like Florida State last year, doesn't it? Florida State had the expectations, and they kind of went through the schedule, but it was like, man, this just doesn't look right. And the same thing with Ohio State.
Okay. DJ, thanks so much. Appreciate you calling in. I hope you're right, obviously, about my undergraduate alma mater. Thanks for calling.
You can't lose this week, Rich.
Oh, don't say that. Don't put the Ziggy like that. Appreciate it. That's at Move the Sticks, Daniel Jeremiah.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.